I'm Kelly Wilde, tranny tragic from Barnet in Hertfordshire, about 10 miles north of London. Now, why would I refer to myself as a tranny tragic? Well, it has to do with the fact that I'm 79 years old. At 79 years old, it's difficult to look glamorous or sexy. And so I dress in simple clothes, little sort of lumberjack t-shirt or girly blouse. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Bra, little tiny skirt, sissy knickers, little bit of bling here and there. That'll do me. Tonight I'm going to be talking about brainwashing. Yes, all of us are brainwashed to some extent, some more than others. Just recently we've had a whole state of brainwashing. We've seen people in the USA, these Trump supporters, talking about conspiracy theories. Apparently the Clintons were involved in a paedophile group that meets every week in in the basement of a pizza shop. People can be convinced to believe anything, absolutely anything. If you spent the next year trying to figure out the most stupid thing you could possibly think of, you would be able to convince some people that it's true. There's one bloke in England, I've forgotten his name now, he's not that important to me. He's managed to convince thousands of people, maybe 1 million or more, that the moon is hollow and it's inhabited by lizard people. Yes, it is. Watch out. And guess who has returned to Earth and is walking around in the disguise of a human being, but who is really a lizard person? Well, it's Queen Elizabeth II of England. Yes, she's a lizard person, not a real human being. She's a lizard person. She's a lizard person from the hollowed out moon. This bloke's got thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands, probably not millions, but hundreds of thousands of morons who log into his YouTube channel every day, every week, just to check out on the progress of these lizard people. This is what we're up against. Absolute fucking morons. Now that the pink pig has been vanquished and banished, for the time being at least, the USA is governed by a sensible, rational sort of a president. He's the sort of president who believes that a corpse sprang back to life, and provided that we worship that corpse, that zombie, will be granted eternal life in the kingdom of heaven. Some people, those nasty, horrible sort of atheists, and billions of other people who've never heard of Jesus Christ, unfortunately for them, they're going to burn in the fires of hell for eternity for failing to worship Jesus. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, that is what you call rationality. Jesus could defy gravity. He could defy all the laws of nature by walking on water, just like the Lord Krishna before him. It's true, he really did. And Jesus could bring dead bodies, corpses, back to life. One such, Lazarus, had been dead so long that his body stinketh. His sister said to Jesus, "But Lord, he's been dead so long, his body stinketh." And Jesus said, "No worries, mate. Arise, Lazarus." And Lazarus did. And he picked up his bed and walked away. No such thing as a stammer or a wobble. He just walked coolly and calmly away. That's the truth. That's what we must get back to. That kind of rationality and reason. Jesus could cure bacterial diseases like, for example, leprosy, by driving out the sufferer's unclean spirits. Yes, he could. He would just instruct the unclean spirits or demons, whatever, you know, the Bible describes them variously, instructing them to leave, and the sufferer would be cured. On one occasion he came across a crazy man, and Jesus spoke to the demons, the unclean spirits, who were infesting this man's brain. He said, "Who are you?" And the head unclean spirit said to Jesus, "We are legion." We are legion, meaning there's quite a few of us here, buddy boy. There's lots of us inhabiting this man's brain, and that's why he's crazy. And Jesus said, well, because Jesus was unsure here. He was used to driving out one or two unclean spirits, maybe 6 or 7, half a dozen or so. But this man was infested with legions of unclean spirits. And so Jesus quite sensibly asked the head unclean spirit, "What can I do about this?" And the unclean spirit responded, answered Jesus and said, here's a suggestion, mate, you know. You see, just up the hill there's a herd of pigs, about 2,000 of them in all. What I suggest you do is command me and my legions of unclean spirits to depart from this crazy man's brain, zoom up the hill and infest the minds, the brains of these pigs. And Jesus thought, oh, sounds good to me. So that's what he did. He commanded the legions of unclean spirits to vacate the crazy man's brain. They did as they were told. They zoomed up the hill and they infested the minds, the brains of 2,000 pigs. The pigs went crazy. They did. They went absolutely loopy-doopy. They leapt off a cliff, landed in the sea and drowned, taking the unclean spirits with them. The man was saved. I don't know whether he had a bed to pick up like Lazarus, but he strolled off, cured. Oh, heavens to Betsy. No one recorded, the attitude of the pig farmer who lost 2,000 pigs that he spent a lifetime breeding. But, Jesus saved this man from insanity by driving the unclean spirits from him to 2,000 pigs. And that's the truth. That's the rational, reasonable way that we should all think, and we should all believe in truth, the absolute supreme truth like that. There is lots of truth like that in the Bible. For example, when God turned Moses' staff, you know, his stick, his stave, whatever you call it, his rod, turned it into a snake. Yes, he did. His snake slithered around, and in the end, Moses' staff, which had become a snake, ate all of the Pharaoh's staffs who had turned into snakes. But God's snake, Moses' snake, was more powerful, or at least more hungry than all the Pharaoh's rod snakes. Moses' snake gobbled up all of the Pharaoh's snakes, and that's convincing, and that proved that Jehovah was more powerful than the God of Egypt, because the God of Egypt, his snakes had been gobbled up by Jehovah's snakes, and afterwards Moses' snake turned back into a rod. You know that's true because it's in the Bible. Yes, it is. And you know that God used to fly around on the back of a flying cherub, and God used to drop hot coals on the people below, and he used to puff smoke out of his nostrils. It's the truth. It's all there for you to read in the Bible. God flying around on the back of a flying cherub, dropping hot coals on the people below. You know it's the truth. We've got to get back to the rational, sensible, reasonable truth as told in the Bible. Get real, people.